We all know it's coming eventually. Either Sakurai will be working on a Smash Bros. Game for Switch 2 after finishing Kirby Air Riders, or, dare I say it, somebody else has taken over directorial duties. Who knows? Either way, here are a mix of wants and predictions for the next game in no particular order. Starting off, we have the Ring Fit Athlete. With Ring Fit Adventure being the most commercially successful new first-party Nintendo IP to be introduced during the Switch generation, I think we'll likely see the Flamehead player character as a new inclusion, potentially even as a successor to Wii Fit Trainer if some cuts have to be made in the next game. Even then, the Ring Fit Athlete is actually more equipped for the battlefield, as they literally cause damage to enemies through exercise in the source material itself, so it makes perfect sense. Most fans have been asking for Dixie Kong as the next inclusion to represent the Donkey Kong series, but personally, I have someone else in mind. As demonstrated by the Switch version of Tropical Freeze, Funky Kong's playable appearance there makes heavy use of his surfboard, which I think would be fun to weaponize in Smash. Not only that, but Funky is also a fan favourite for Mario Kart players, so maybe that will also translate to the competitive Smash scene if he ends up being considered a top tier pick. Ever since Ryu's inclusion in Smash 4's DLC, Sakurai has been making sure to include more fighting game veterans like Terry and Kazuya, and I can totally see SoulCalibur being the next esteemed franchise of that genre to be represented, with its weapon-based combat setting itself apart from Tekken. Seeing as Namco will likely be brought back to develop Smash 6 if the past couple of entries are anything to go by, it just makes sense. Plus, since Link was a guest character in the GameCube version of SoulCalibur 2, things would come full circle. As for the character itself, probably Nightmare. He seems to be the most recognisable character from SoulCalibur to those that have never played it. Originally, Olimar and Alf were all we really needed to represent what Pikmin was all about. But ever since Pikmin 4's lovable space pooch entered the scene, as well as new Pikmin types that have been introduced since, there's room for more creativity for another slot. I figured it would make sense to have Shepard riding Ochi, considering she's the one who teaches him the tricks he learns, like charge attacks and bites. Plus, we could implement Ice Pikmin within the moveset to shake things up a little. As much as I'd love Bandana Waddle Dee to complete the recurring Kirby quartet we've seen become prominent since Return to Dreamland, I think that game's antagonist would provide yet another deserving villain inclusion with dimension manipulating attacks to make him stand out more. Plus, with Magalore having a starring role in the Switch version's bonus epilogue story, the moveset speaks for itself. We've seen Nintendo play nicely with Microsoft when we got both Banjo-Kazooie and Steve join Ultimate's DLC. But what about the other big console titan of modern gaming? While I suggested Kratos in an old video I made predicting him to be the last grand reveal, I think someone else has come along that would be more fitting to do the honours of representing the PlayStation brand. Last year's Astrobot was a hit for both critics and audiences alike, with the titular robot not only having a more friendly vibe, but also containing a wealth of references to PlayStation's rich history, meaning he would be the ideal choice. He even dresses up as Kratos for a God of War themed level on one occasion, which could be implemented within his moveset as well as the other PlayStation icons he dresses as. Astral Chain is yet another new IP published by Nintendo for the Switch, and besides Bayonetta, I think we need another slot dedicated to celebrating their relationship with Platinum Games, as Wonder Red has probably missed the boat due to Platinum now having full ownership of the Wonderful 101 IP. Either way, the Howard twins work alongside their Legion companions to wrap the eponymous Astral Chain around foes and coordinate team attacks. Plus, the Legion fusion mechanic would make for a great final smash. With a new Okami game confirmed to be in the works, this is probably the best chance that our Sun Goddess has to make it in, as the timing was never really right before. Amaterasu's Celestial Bush techniques offer great versatility, whether it's through slashing or summoning cherry bombs, and I'm more than up for more fighters of the K9 kind to keep Duck Hunt and Isabelle company. If anything, the biggest factor hurting her chances is competition from other Capcom legends like Dante and Phoenix Wright. Due to Xenoblade's nature of having an entirely new cast of characters in every new entry, it's safe to say that it has become the Smash series' next Fire Emblem, where those that didn't play the series will likely get mad at the excessive representation for a franchise with a rather niche appeal. But as someone who loves Xenoblade,
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Rage bait aside, Xenoblade 3's protagonists, Noah and Mio, would make for a great tag team combo, being able to switch between them much like Pyra and Mithra, while also having a meter to charge up their Ouroboros forms to unleash when full. The character I originally voted for back when Nintendo hosted the fighter ballot during Smash 4's DLC, Rayman is a childhood favourite with a tailor-made moveset that we can pretty much extract from Origins and Legends, throwing in a few references to the likes of The Great Escape and Hoodlum Havoc to fill in the gaps for special moves. Plus, his inclusion in Brawlhalla must have been Ubisoft's way of hinting to Nintendo that they wanted this to happen. So, there we have it. My personal choices for characters I'd like to see in the next inevitable Smash game. Be sure to let me know in the comments who you're personally rooting for, as well as subscribe to my channel for more Nintendo speculation. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see you later.